Sports ran away with it. And then in game 2, TongFu just took it from the start. So game 3, we'll hop into it now.
We're done.
TongFu, they've given away the XtincT Visage, and he does nothing but rack up the kills on this hero.
He also has, I said last time, 78% win rate has gone up now because he has won games when it was picked up. I have not seen XtincT lose with Visage yet, so we're going to see a ton of aggression.
Look at his face.
He's like, yeah, we got this. Navi's next.
He's feeling good right now. If you're TongFu, obviously you know XtincT's strong on Visage, though.
Yes.
And one of the best ways to deal with it is Chen. And also on that note, well, something else that's pretty good is Anti-Mage. They take game 2 with it, they go back to it in game 3, but Orange have given away Anti-Mage and defeated it before.
Yes. Again, what I said last game about Anti-Mage, the playstyle against Orange is they want to go into your jungle, they want to go into lane and find kills. Anti-Mage says, I'll just blink away. I mean, sure, sometimes he doesn't farm the most because he's always afraid, but at the same time, if he ever have that opening, if he ever has a room to farm, he will get the farm. Visage, obviously your hero that doesn't have an innate lockdown, and he won't get it until he has, you know, your Sacrifice, which I don't expect him to have. So I think Anti-Mage is a great pickup item.
And they'll go now for an Ohaiyo Nature's Prophet. It was really one of their go-to heroes earlier in the tournament. We haven't seen it yet in this particular series. They'll pick it up now. They get one of their, probably their offlaner. We have seen Mushi play a carry Prophet. He actually did it in this tournament. And by the way, Lumi, he was so rich that he had 2 spare BKBs in his stash. So, I mean, Mushi knows how to hala get dollar. But most likely it should be an Ohaiyo Prophet, and then we'll have to wait and see what Mushi, kyxy, and Net are going to play.
Yeah, you talked about it many times in the past. What Ohaiyo likes to do on that Nature's Prophet is make sure that he sacrifices himself. He makes sure that he sends the treants into the enemy jungle and then, you know, block their camps, harass their farm. But that's not going to matter as much against the Chen. Chen is going to roll around with the big centaur. He has more camps, has more options to farm. So I'd like to see Ohaiyo, if he's playing that sacrifice or Prophet style, adjust a little bit. He cannot really, I mean, he has to kind of get big because he either needs to pick up an Orchid or a Sacrifice to deal with the Anti-Mage late game.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if it is an Ohaiyo Prophet. Again, Mushi has played this hero times. So if you're RNG Sports, the other option for them is to run it in the off lane only for the first minute, like Bulldog does, and then go into the jungle, focus on getting your Midas up, focus on your own farm. Also, the other consideration here is that Prophet doesn't lane that well against Anti-Mage 1v1. Generally, a really good Anti-Mage player can bully Prophet off the lane, doesn't need support, which means TongFu can get a carry farm and also do whatever they want with their support, be basically very greedy. So now we enter the second stage, and we've seen some different playstyles from Orange. They beat Fnatic primarily with split push. They beat, in their last series, they actually took down DK in one of those decisive games with a team fight combo. We saw them with the Slardar, the Darkseer, the Shadow Fiend. The Shadow Fiend is removed. Darkseer is banned, so where are they going to take this?
It's very interesting. Both teams are banning out your carry series. Seems like TongFu definitely, because so far they have the biggest carry. They say, you know what, let's just go for the safer late game choice. Again, it's a playstyle that they're very comfortable with, and I think they're angling the draft that way. Orange Esports, they say, you know what, even though you have the Anti-Mage, we know you like to tri-core quite a bit, so let's ban out a couple carries of our own. So as Orange thinking about says, forget 40 minutes, we'll win 20. Let's pick up nothing but aggressive heroes.
Yeah, if they want to go heavy on the push here, I mean, even something like an Enigma is an option.
Sure.
We'll have to wait and see, but Visage and Prophet already present a pretty fearsome push. They ban out the Magnus, one of the best turtling heroes, also makes Anti-Mage even scarier late game. You empower him. The Anti-Mage, if he skips BKB, is going to have that the entire fight. It accelerates his farm. So they limit TongFu's late game. They take away one of the most turtle-oriented solo mids. Do they go for something like a Dragon Knight here? Do they go for something that is really strong at pushing?
I mean, or Orange or TongFu, right? Both teams love the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, TongFu's worried about that push. And I do want to point out that kyxy is a really strong Lone Druid player. So they ban out the Lone Druid, and TongFu, with that next pick, they'll secure a puck. They have the Dire side. Now they've got a great mobile ganker. They have fantastic pick-off potential. The Anti-Mage, the puck. It honestly feels a lot like an Alliance draft in terms of the kinds of heroes they're getting.
Yeah, a little bit maybe in terms of difference of ordering, but...
yeah, the order's a lot different, but the lineup is looking similar.
Right, the concept's fairly similar as well. But the execution might be quite different. But let's go back to this game here. What do you think Orange is going to play? They have a very aggressive support that will allow them to go offensive try lane. We talked about Nature's Prophet being an off lane. If Orange says, we want to go offensive try, I mean, Prophet will have a safe lane defensively.
Yeah, that puts the Prophet in the safe lane. What TongFu could do in reply is just send the Anti-Mage off lane, though. So obviously that could limit his farm a bit. The Prophet can play around with the creep waves. We'll have to see what TongFu wants to do. But right now, they get a Nyx Assassin. And when Orange has a fast start and they have these two supports, the game can quickly spiral out of control. Puck, very vulnerable to Nyx, lots of AoE, which means the Carapace can really mess him up in the team fights, and even a split-pushing anti-mage. Once the Prophet gets the Scythe Device, when Nyx has Impale, once he has level 6, you can kill anti-mage and Puck with this hero.
Yeah, a nice support pick up here. Very, very good against Puck, taking away a ton of his HP per mana burn. You could actually kind of gank him out of Vendetta with Impale. Depends on Puck's reaction.
You know, one thing I do want to mention just before I forget is Orange does play some Ursa. Is this an Ursa game? He's generally not good against anti-mage.
Ursa against Puck is going to be a little bit awkward because sometimes, well, when you don't have your BKB, a Dream Coil can stop you pretty well. We've seen Pucks today, both times, in fact, picked up Yule Scepter. That's a very kind of cool and efficient mid-game way to shut him down. Against a Chen who has heal and sandbag, as well as anti-mage blink away. I'm not sure whether this is an Ursa game, but we'll see if they have. If you have enough lockdown, you can do it. But I don't think
at this point, I think it would be a fringe pick. Just throwing it out there. But Orange, like the obvious picks, if they do want to go push, are probably a Dragon Knight and maybe something like a Luna here. Those would be two really strong pushing carries. The tri-lane solid. Prophet can build your utility items. Dragon Knight goes for BKB, and you just 5-mana at them around that 20-minute mark or so. And if you look at TongFu right now, they don't have that much counter push. They have Fade Bolt and they have Puck Snoop. That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, we're assuming they're going to push, but they can take this a lot of different ways. They can go for late game. They can pick a pretty hard carry here. Alk's banned out, but I mean, there's things like Phantom Lancer in the pool still.
Is there any chance they go back to that Sven? I mean, that's another hero that's okay against this lineup. Now, they don't have the Darkslayer, and that was a big part of their Blink, Vacuum, Stormhammer on top, and into an instant team wipe. So maybe not, but yeah, it seems like Orange Esports, they have a very wide pool. In fact, Mushi has been reportedly paying 18 heroes out of...
already in the event.
Already in the event, whereas you have other players that played like 4, 5, 6. So Mushi definitely have it seems like a limitless pool in terms of heroes. So I'm ready to be amazed. I'm ready to be dazzled.
Yeah, there's so many options now.
Speaking of dazzle.
It's Dazzle? Shadow Demon Dazzle?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, they're not going to go for a Shadow Demon, and I think that combo... Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Gyrocopter picked up for Orange, so they get a pretty versatile carry. You can go aggressive trialing with Gyro against Anti-Mage, and frankly, Orange should have the edge there, unless the Chen gets some really good creeps, sets up a gank. So they could run that aggressive tri-lane. Prophet can go safe lane. Prophet can go mid. I mean...
He can go anywhere.
They can do anything with these lanes. They can go safe tri-lane. It's all up to how Orange want to play the game.
I actually think they just go Windrunner up top with the offensive try and put your Gyro on the safe lane, Prophet mid, and just say, you know what? We're going to just angle for a very safe lane. Good at every single stage. You have multiple Scythe carriers, so it could go late. It's just a very flexible lineup. Good at team fight as well. But we'll see what Orange thinks.
Yeah, Orange just taking their time for TongFu. When you open with a Chen, an Anti-Mage, and then a Puck, it's pretty clear what you want to do. You want to find some kills and then get your Anti-Mage really fat. 4 Protect 1 should be the order of the day. They'll ban out a Tinker here. Ohaiyo has shown us an absolutely stupendous Tinker in the past. If you go even back to last December, he was running that in the GEST Challenge. But we have not seen that in a long time. Nowadays, he's much more frequently seen on the utility heroes. KYXY, Mushi, we don't see them play Tinker. So it looks like TongFu just pretty worried about Orange's ability to split push them to death and even just go at them head on. Because when March is there and you're just spamming it, it's hard for TongFu to even stand nearer the tower to defend.
Yeah, March Machine is definitely an issue for heroes like Pug, Rubik, and Chen. Very squishy, there's no way around it. So very annoying hero. They'll take it out. Back to TongFu for their final pick of what could be their final pick of the entire tournament because they have to win this to go on.
They're sitting in the booth right now. They're thinking it over. No decision forthcoming just yet. How in the captain slot? How in the drafter slot? What's he going to go for? Mushi, he's been all over the place. He's been hard to read. And I wonder if that's factoring into TongFu's thought process, who have been, for the most part, pretty straightforward with their drafts. The last pick's coming out now. Time for both teams to put their cards on the table. It's an enigma for TongFu. Get ready for some black holes. Here we go.
Get ready for some early game pushes for Demonic Conversion. Now, the big concern for me is, because of this draft, you have one true damage dealer in Anti-Mage, and Hao has been playing spectacularly on his Anti-Mage last game, dealing with Doom, Fiend's Grip, and Flaming Lasso, but if Orange Esports somehow could find the Focus Fire to deal with Anti-Mage and remove him from a team fight, TongFu just have no damage follow-up. So TongFu somewhat risky in a lineup. They don't generally run lineup like this. They generally run at least 2 or even 3 damage dealers.
Yeah, last game we saw Dragon Knight, and once he got Shadow Blade AC, he was hitting like a truck.
Right, so this game is just all up to Hao. I assume he's going to be playing the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, it's always Hao on the Anti-Mage. Be very surprised if it's not this time. The Mu Puck is what we expect. KingJ on the Enigma, Chen for Banana most likely, and then that puts SanSheng onto your Rubik. So TongFu, it's pretty obvious how they're going to run their lineup. Most likely defensive tri-lane, unless they want to try and dodge Orange if they think Orange is going aggressive. But they don't really want to fight head-on early. They just want to try and win their lanes, split push, find the early tower, secure a quick battle fury for the Anti-Mage, and then focus more for the mid-game. And then once Anti-Mage gets ahead, gets 3 or 4 items, try and take Roche from there, push. But Orange Esports go for a very aggressive lane control. It looks like a farming Naga Siren in the tri-lane. Great lockdown now for the Anti-Mage. Nyx Assassin, Naga, Prophet if he builds a Hex. Orange Esports, much more options in terms of how they lane. Many more ways to take this lane. Will they get off to a hot start? If they do, it's very hard for anyone to reply.
Seems like they're angling for a solo mid-Nyx Assassin. No solo player has...
Mushi on the Nyx, really? That would be a surprise, but what else is he going to play?
I mean, Naga Siren on the carry is definitely an option. We've seen Ice, the carry player for the team, been playing that quite a bit as well. We even seen some carry player play support, carry Visage, which is something a little bit different. We'll see. It's
now time to get underway. The players are selecting their heroes. Game 3 is about to start in just a few moments. TongFu versus Orange. TongFu once again on the Dire. Our final match of day 4. Tomorrow, Na'Vi will play the winner of this match. The loser finishes in 4th place at the International 2013, and then we have our grand finals. But before we get there, we introduce the teams. On the Dire side, you have TongFu, SanSheng on the Rubik, KingJ the Enigma. No surprises here. Mu, your Puck. Looks like Hao on the Anti-Mage, Banana the Chen, and the Courier in the base. For the time being, RNG Esports defending their own ancients. They are on the Radiant side. XtincT, nearly undefeated on the Visage. Net, your support Naga Siren. Bringing up the rear is kyxy on the Gyro, and this looks like an aggressive tri-lane. Mushi will be on the Nyx Assassin this game, and then to the safe lane goes Ohaiyo, the Nature's Prophet.
I think TongFu is actually going to put their Puck up top. Generally, when you go solo mid Puck, you take a lot of you get pull. You get like a no talisman in the beginning. You get something like a pull salve and a tango. But he's gone for massive regen. He's gone for a lot of stats.
So it looks like basically they want Hao 1v1 against Prophet, and they expect an aggressive tri-lane.
Right. So do you just put AM solo mid 1v1 against Nyx Assassin, or you dueling mid?
I think they just send him off lane 1v1 against Prophet. We'll see though.
No, I'm talking about Hao, the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, Anti-Mage 1v1 against Prophet.
Okay, yeah.
So TongFu just completely predicting what Orange is doing. They're sending Hao to the off lane. This will be a nice farming lane for him. And if the Rubik comes in at the right time, we could maybe even see our first blood. The bell has been rung. Now, game 3 underway. They're looking for Banana in the jungle. Orange early on want to shut down Banana. They're now available if they want to throw a net, but generally you want Riptide at level 1. They'll block some camps here with a Sentry. Is there any ability to deward? Banana, he's just going to head straight to the enemy jungle. And actually, it will be KingJ mid. So Enigma solo mid against your Nyx Assassin. Tough lane for the Nyx. And then Puck up against the very scary offensive tri-lane. But well-equipped to deal with it.
I think TongFu kind of had very last-minute indecision about these lanes, because in the mid lane, if you go Enigma against Nyx Assassin, sure, Eidolon's going to be annoying, but you mana burn him once. What is KingJ really going to do?
Yeah, it looks like he's rushing something, though. The bottle, possibly the Soul Rain. And I do like the other matchups for them. Like, Hao should get close to free farm on this bottom lane. SanSheng probably not going to be a victim of death early on. And Puck is hard to go on for Orange, because if they try, their initiation is basically going to be net or impale, and either one you can easily phase shift dodge. Well, not easily, but you can definitely do it. So Mu's a tough kill.
They're going to dive in right now. Lift on the bot lane. Looks like a creep is tanking all the tower shot. Ohaiyo's going to try to TP out. There is no way to cancel that TP.
Great reaction. Now Banana wasting his time taking tower damage. And it's, if he had a stunning creep, that's a kill, but he had a Satyr and couldn't get the job done.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't have the, I guess, the creep luck, I suppose.
So now it's going to be try on try, at least for the time being. Net in the front lines. He hasn't done that poor man shield and then get pulled build that we see from, say, EGM on Alliance. Net has gone for more of a support build. He's picked up some wards for himself, and he will be trying to zone Banana off the lane. And they may be able to kill this creep. Killing a Chen creep early on is a big deal. That's a lot of experience.
In fact, the way that the lanes line up here, I think Orange could get ultra greedy. If they want to send kyxy, or excuse me, Ohaiyo into the jungle and just say, Visage, you're now the carry bot player on the bot lane, they could get away with something like this because Chen, not exactly an insane ganker, especially if you TP to the enemy jungle and get the farm there, but we'll see how Orange react to this very awkward laning stage.
Mushi always going to be a tough nut to crack as a laner, and 2 minutes in, he is 9-4 against Enigma. He's going for the top rune. Is he going to get off an Impale? Malefice is there. Impale to fly. The rune goes to Mushi. Small play from him, but now looking for more. Driving KingJ back. Has the move speed to get off one more hit, and he will. Now popping an illusion rune. Is he going to commit a little bit far to die for a kill? Meanwhile, they've driven Banana out of the jungle. Net and XtincT will not let him park and set up shop. They kill off the creep. Banana unable to send it back. And
back in mid lane here, we have a teleportation, and KingJ in huge trouble right now. Couple more right clicks. He's going to do the job. Mana burn on top. One more. Oh, KingJ is going to
low,
survive.
but not dead. Everybody dodging bullets. Everything hanging to the balance here. Net, he's got a Riptide. Banana on the hunt. The stomp off the mark. So now they've just left XtincT 1v1 against Hao, and so far, not getting much CS, but they are getting a lot of experience off this map.
Yeah, without all of these rotations and random ganks here and there, who's actually getting the best matchup? Let's look at the top lane here. We have kyxy against a puck, and kyxy is leading just by a tiny bit. Got a couple more denied. On the mid lane, it's still a very awkward matchup for both players, but it's completely even there. And on bot lane here, Hao getting a little bit harassed here. He's got 11 CS. Nobody's really farming well, but at the same time, if you're not farming well and they're not farming well, I guess it's even.
I think one of the nice things here for Orange is they've really slowed down Banana, and we've seen a lot of Chens when they have a fast start, like XtincT did, like Ake's had in so many games this tournament. The mid game is really hard to deal with. They have so much power to just push down early towers, and you look at Orange, pretty good counter push, but not amazing. Meanwhile, though, bottom lane Net dropping fast, the Centaur Stomp already used. Hao can't find the kill. Hao isn't farming as well as your Gyro. He's not even farming as well as Mushi. I have to go back to last game and say Hao had free farm, and he had a really fast Battle Fury. I don't know if that's going to happen this game, so I think because of that, I'd give Orange a slight advantage here.
Again, very interesting lane comes out for TongFu, and I cannot say it has worked so far. Mushi is going to hit level 6 very soon, and suddenly your puck is very gankable in the top lane. Hao is extremely gankable in the bot lane. He's going to find himself yet another rune, so very good rotation. Pops it immediately. I think he was seen when he used it, so yeah, KingJ's going to back off mid.
Meanwhile, Hao just not having fun bottom lane. Is he going to head back towards top? Clearing off some profit trans for the time being. The farm just isn't there for him. Gone for the magic stick, delaying his Ring of Health, and he'll blink towards mid. Are they going to put him mid against Mushi? I don't think he can lane here either.
Well, these idle
not without help.
These idle lines are actually cleaning through Mushi.
Yeah, they are about to despawn. Mushi knowing that, not afraid to go in. Looking for an Impale, he's going to hit it. Hao dropping pretty fast, no Mana Burn. There's just not many great lanes for him. The mid lane is okay, but Mushi's got bottle, so sure, you can trade some blows. He'll just bottle up, and he'll come right back at you.
Well, we're going to see a rotation up top. TongFu need to make this gank work, because they're not winning any of these lanes. Mu is level... No, he's only not even level 6. Or goes
Meanwhile,
forward.
Banana heading in with the Centaur, but denied. Net is just pursuing this Chen to the ends of the earth. Everywhere he goes, Net is ready. And Banana... How often have we seen Chen just push down a fast tower, get a first blood? He's been denied at every corner. Orange, I mean, they run a great Chen. They know how to contest it.
I mean, this goes back to why I think Orange support's probably one of the best duel in this tournament. Both Net and XtincT, they just know what to do, even in this awkward early game stage. I mean, once Mushi joined the fray in terms of setting up kills, it's going to be a huge, huge issue. Hao still hanging out in the mid lane.
Now they're rotating towards mid. Net's wrapping around. There's actually no dire ward here. Uh-oh. Hao could be in trouble. Actually going to salve up, so... Profit TP canceled. It looks like the gank not going to work. He was skirting with death there for a moment, though.
Well, Net now going into the enemy jungle, trying to stop KingJ from farming. Yeah, he's just... This guy's just really annoying. Like
he's migrated. How just
he's
cannot...
level 2. He's a level 2 support going to enemy jungle by himself.
He can't find a place to call home. Neither can Net, like you said, but I'm concerned for TongFu because, as you talked about in the draft, it's a one-core lineup. It's an anti-mage as your only DPS in the late game, and he's not getting farm right now. I mean, it's okay 23 CS, but forced to go for early boots, forced to go for an early magic stick, not rushing the Ring of Health. He's been slowed down. Last game, Hao had 10 CS, or no, sorry, like 6 CS a minute, around 60 at 10 minutes. This game, not really on a great pace for that.
All right, so it took about 6 minutes and 30 seconds, but we are back to our original lanes, what we predicted to be. Hao defensive trialing up top. 1v1 mid between Puck and Nyx Assassin, and of course Ohaiyo Prophet on top as well. But everybody now magically has level 5, so I guess we're in parity. I'm not too sure how this game is going right now.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think where the game will really be not determined, but the way the flow is going to go is Mushi's first few ganks. Because already he's level 6, he has a regen rune, he's just about got his arcane boots, and he has access to a level 4 impale after 1 or 2 creeps. So at that point, if his first gank or 2 works, and it very well could, you have a level 5 Enigma, a level 4 Rubik, a level 3 Chen. It's a 4-int lineup against the Nyx. Nyx could really get out of control.
Yeah, he so far has not chosen to push. Well, there's a looks like the impale missed, but the Mana Burn did not.
Yeah, that one's hard to dodge.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a TP to the bottom lane, Net rotating in, backing off. Net's been a little unsure of where to go, trying to prevent anyone from getting experience in a lane they should. And now he'll head in towards the bottom lane. No, it's Mushi. Still fishing for the first blood. The glyph deployed. Mushi could really ambush somebody here. Scouting out, back towards mid, wrapping around towards bottom. It's such a long way to dive. Vendetta is about to wear off, and it will wear off now. He's made it to the safety of the tree line. No, they pinged and they've spotted him. Couldn't get the kill. But the first tower of Game 3 goes to Orange now. RNG Sports finding something. Is it enough? We'll have to wait and see. Mushi coming in. He's got a Carapace. Impale to fly. Now you're called out. KingJ in a lot of trouble. First blood to Orange. They're not done yet. SanSheng on the run. Soul Assumption and one more hit. He's dead. 2 to fall. They take a tower. They take a first blood and they take one more as well. Orange really coming on top.
I was about to say that TongFu losing that tier 1 tower wasn't a big deal at all. In fact, I think they were okay because there were 4 heroes pushing that tier 1 tower. They took in a very slow amount of time. Enigma and Rubik would have got the experience of a huge group wave, but they got caught out. They got blindsided by Nyx Assassin that they knew it was there. They pinged it out. So huge misplay here from TongFu, and that will cost them also a ton of damage on the tier 2. And now, like you said, the first couple ganks is very important for Orange Esports. It's important to Mushi. He now hits himself to level 8, and he will apply pressure for the anti-mage. And
the importance of that tower is that Ohaiyo has a 22 CS score at 9 minutes, yet he has a Midas. Without the tower gold, he would not have this yet.
Yes, that's a great point.
So, and it's what we've seen from Alliance. This is a team that really jumpstarts their farm by taking a fast tower. You often see Loda will just save money, buy an early Gloves of Haste. You see the similar thing for Bulldog as well. Supports getting early towers means that your carries can accelerate their farm curves. That's what we're going to see now. Already kyxy up to an Ogre Club. Overall for TongFu, I have to say in that fight bottom, SanSheng, you can just Rubik lift a Nyx and it does not proc his Carapace, it doesn't do damage. He was slow to react and that really cost them.
Yeah, the cooldown was on point. I think one of them even hit SanSheng as well, so he had a tough time. But
yeah, if Mushi didn't get off that Impale though, I think they actually live.
Well, let's look at our support Neville's here. We haven't seen Net too much. He had no home, but he has kind of abandoned the push on the bot lane and really picked up level 4, even level 5 on the mid lane. And he's somehow zoning Puck out by himself, walking forward, threatening a Riptide, threatening a Ensnare. And Puck is actually kind of scared because he doesn't know where the Nyx Assassin is.
Yeah, and these supports, you look at this Rubik just boots on the TP. He can't even afford Sentry Wards. Your Chen could, but he wants to get something towards either the mech or the Arcane Boots. Enigma's going mech, so it looks like he wants the Arcanes. In comes Mushi. They'll Pale and Riptide the creeps. They'll clear them out. They're not going for a kill just yet. They've also dropped down a Sentry. 10-minute rune to spawn. It will be bottom. It's going to be an Invis. So RNG Sports, early advantage for them. They now lead by 3K gold, 1K experience, but the clock is somewhat ticking. How's farming? He's finally settled down. We're 10 minutes in. He's only about 10 CS behind where he was last game. Doesn't have the kills his way, but you leave an anti-mage alone long enough and it could cost you in the mid game.
Yeah, that's just credit to how well he's farming, because he wasn't farming for the first 3-4 minutes, I want to say, and then he has basically lasted everything.
Around the corner. There's your Net to fly. SanSheng's been caught. There is an ult for the Enigma, but another kill. RNG Sports, so much good early movement. Now how? Mushi on the top lane, throwing out a Carapace, a Mana Burn as well. He's even got a Vendetta here. He's going to bottle up, and then they may go for a kill. He's got access to Impale soon. How? Forced to back off. Even not killing him is still a big deal, because now he's not farming. He's low enough that he can't stay safe, and again, such good support play. Warding behind the enemy towers. SanSheng back in. He's starting to really feel like a liability. Level 5, no items. In comes Net. He's got to head away. No, he's walked right into Net. Into Familiars. Look at him just melt. Now Mu dropping an ult, but will it be enough? Ohaiyo on the chase. Mu able to live barely at that. SanSheng is not having a fun game.
You have a level 5 Naga diving past a tower against a Puck and just setting up the kills. I mean, how annoying has Net been this game? Setting up the
Look at Mushi.
top
Everyone's being annoyed.
Yeah, how is cannot farm top I mean, Orange Esports, they're not necessarily making great plays and killing people, but they're just annoying the hell out of TongFu. Where does Hao farm now? He just doesn't have a place to farm.
That's what happens when you get these early pushes off. And when you have a Prophet and a Nyx backing up the push, when a tower falls, it means that the safe zone to farm is much more restricted. The tier 1 now falls top, and Orange Esports start to tighten the noose, leading 4-0, leading by 5K gold, 2K experience. TongFu, they tipped their hand early. They went Chen, then they went Anti-Mage Puck. You knew what they wanted to do, but now they get a big item. They get a KingJ mech, they have Dream Coil, they have Black Hole. One big team fight could really turn this game around.
And they need that one big team fight. The mech is going to be a big part. At the same time, though, he's got 600 mana, which generally is more than enough to get off your mech and Black Hole, but again, Mushi is going to be an X factor in this game. He's going to get a ton of level. That means your mana burn is going to get level up. If you get a 5x mana burn against Enigma, he will not nearly have enough mana to bring out his spells and items.
Here they go. TongFu smoked up, 12 minutes in. Mushi in the mid lane, but he's got a Carapace here. He could pop it soon. He'll pop it now. In come the Familiars. Stun on 4. What an unbelievable play, but where's the follow-up? Nothing yet. They do lose their Nyx. TongFu getting the advantage here. The mech made the difference. Imagine if there was follow-up, though, Lumi. That was some scary Familiar stuns.
Yeah, very important gank to slow down Mushi, get a couple of levels, and really stop the aggression, because when Mushi's dead, Hao knows he's safe up top, and you can see that he's now poking his head out, just ricing away. Yeah, they need to make sure that Hao gets big, and gets big, very, very big. Well, we're going to see a little bit of engagement on the mid lane.
Oh my god, look at that gold for kyxy. Kills off an entire 6 Eidolons there. That's basically like killing 3 to 4 creeps. That's a lot for him. And now he's just about got a BKB. And now the next level of aggression is going to come for Orange. They have Song of the Siren, they have Call Down, they've got Familiar Stuns, they've got Impale, they've got a level 3 Carapace. Their AoE combo is filthy. If TongFu get caught by this could very well cost them 1-2 towers. We'll have to see, though. Orange grouped up mid, now starting to press their advantage. 50 gold away from the BKB for kyxy, not even bothering to wait for it. Focusing on Chen creeps. They're dropping in a hurry. They needed one more Riptide to kill them off. They can't do it. They're all going to live with 50 HP.
I guess you got to send them back. I mean, Hand of God will bring them back up. They're not using it. Great split pushing up top here by Anti-Mage. Draws the TP and protects the tower mid. Really good play.
I think Orange just need to be patient here. Get your Mushi Blink Dagger. Get your next item on the BKB on the Gyro. Maybe get the Shadow Blade up on Ohaiyo. They don't have to fight right now. I mean, this Anti-Mage doesn't even have a Battle Fury yet. Hao has a Ring of Health, Power Treads, and a Broadsword. It's still a couple of minutes before he even gets it. And even once he does, they have a lineup that can gank him in the mid-game. The clock is ticking, but it's ticking very slowly right now.
There's a Claymore coming. I'm not sure if that...
Yeah, I did mention.
Okay, good.
So here we go. kyxy on the top lane. BKB's there. TongFu grouped up in the middle lane. Looks like they've still held on to their tier 1 for now. They're really, the economy of these supports is just brutal. SanSheng with boots, you have a headdress on boots on Banana. We have seen some Chens just have a mechanism in boots at this point if they have a good start. When you run a Chen as well as an Enigma, I mean, you would really like to get some early towers. But so far, Orange, every outer tower still alive, and every outer tower pretty healthy, to say the least. So Orange controlling the tempo. They're off to an early advantage. Can they convert it into something more? Can they finish the deal? Can they close the door? That's what we're going to find out over the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Here we go. There's 3 or 4 smoked up on the mid lane. There is a Blink Dagger on Mushi and one on the Puck as well. Tier 1 tower, but these creeps are back at full HP. Here comes a
right over a Dire Sentry. Will Orange D-Ward? Will they recognize?
Oh, they see
no,
Hao.
They found Hao. The Anti-Mage caught. Familiar stuns. 1, 2. He melts, but he's not dead. He's going to fall. Just enough from kyxy. Now Banana next in line. 2 to fall. Your Chen as well. Now the way lies open. The tier 1 mid is going to be next.
Oh, the Hand of God was used, but it wasn't enough, and I don't know how the Chen got stunned by the Smite Carapace, but Mushi making huge play to initiate, and I gotta say, has XtincT been playing well or what? Because those birds, if
they're not done. Mushi jumps in, he did not Carapace first though, now lifted up, thrown back in, but SanSheng, the stolen Carapace of his own, held in the Sprout, brought down as well, another hits the deck. Your Puck even taking a missile to the face. Orange Esports now leading 7-1. Now leading by nearly 10,000 gold, 4,000 experience. Lumi, they can smell it. They can taste it. Knocked down by Na'Vi in their first winner's bracket match, 2-0. They have really forged a path, but can they finish it? It's not done yet.
They gotta keep putting on pressure. You do not let Hao to get his, don't let him farm his way back. It's gonna be tough, especially him being in a 1-row carry, but you never, Mushi.
Nice play played by Banana. Pump faking with the Centaur. Does manage to hit the tower. Meanwhile, Mushi picking up a DD and living at the top lane. And Banana's making those small plays as the Chen. Getting that tower gold is really important because, I mean, how, despite the death, Battle Fury is going to come at some point here.
Yeah, and once it comes, those items that after Battle Fury will come soon after as well.
Mushi, not yet level 11, but he's hunting. Oh, he's going to find Banana.
Chen.
Banana, Mushi running right by him. He just missed him. We'll find Sunshine instead.
Right.
The easier kill. Another kill for Mushi, now level 11. The hits just keep on coming here for Orange.
Yeah, now that's a bad sign for TongFu. Not just because they lost the support, that's just whatever. But the fact that you lose your supports in a jungle like that means they have nowhere near to farm. Like, how could farm maybe 2 feet away from his tower? But the support can't farm. The semi carries can't farm. So what does TongFu do as a team in terms of keeping up in terms of gold? They have very little room.
Yeah, remember, they went for an Enigma, a Chen, a Rubik, and a Puck. I mean, none of these heroes are great split pushers. And on the top lane, we're going to see a defense. There's a Sentry Ward here for Banana. Ohaiyo is dropping in a hurry. Mushi wants the tower tonight and wants a kill. Will settle for a kill first. Now the tower is going to be his, unless, Midas is there. And now the other creep falls. Mushi slams the door in TongFu's face. Banana will be denied this time.
Just perfect play here from Orange Esports. How, though, trying to be annoying on his own right here, pulling a little bit creeps on the mid lane, trying to stop that creep wave going in the mid, because he knows.
I mean, this is where you have to get creative as a carry, right? You have to just find somewhere unusual to farm, because the normal places are not going to happen.
Well, I think what he really wants to do is draw Nyx Assassin, draw somebody to come to his this side of He's farming out here because he knows, right? The push is coming to the mid lane.
He's going to find SanSheng again. Net to fly. In come your familiars, but he's lifted. Something stolen. Riptide's there. It's too late. And Hand of God was also wasted. Meanwhile, how Battle Fury's coming. Closer and closer it draws, but it feels like a game where Battle Fury might not cut it. Net by himself. A level 8 Net Naga just driving the entirety of TongFu back to the tier 3 tower, the tier 2 mid in jeopardy. Now a Helm of the Dominator for kyxy. Orange starting to secure their next level of items. Your Prophet has his treads up, working now towards an ultimate orb, I imagine, towards the Scythe of Ice, and Orange are drawing closer and closer. Only one outer tower now stands for TongFu.
I mean, right now, pushing up the base for Orange, as per usual, to the lineup they draft, is going to be somewhat difficult, especially with there's a Puck Dream Coil, there's a Black Hole online, but I think the Black Hole is not going to be reliable for TongFu. Song of Siren is going to be an easy way to cancel it, no matter, I mean, the AoE is so huge, so unless you find Naga, and unless you Black Hole her,
and even if Mushi can just Carapace and jump into the Black Hole, instantly it's going to get canceled as well.
So I guess the next step up here for the Enigma is to get a BKB, but even if you get a BKB, there is still Ensnare. That will cancel it, so.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough for them to actually get it off. A net will be thrown. Mu, a nice small play from him, will throw out his Puck Illusions and bait out a net from net. How appropriate. But won't be able to find the kill.
Oh, Battle Fury's done.
Let's set the clock. It's 19.5 minutes in, though. Ohaiyo, well, he's near this courier. It is nighttime. Has not been spotted yet. And they go mid lane. Once again, they found someone. It's Mu. And Net slams it home. Another Riptide, another kill for Orange. It seems like it's too many deaths to me. I mean, sure, you've got a Battle Fury, but just look at the net worth. kyxy is nearly 4K gold ahead. Your Nature's Prophet, 3K ahead. Battle Fury Anti-Mage is all about just getting the next items before the enemy carries, and he's not really doing that right now.
I mean, it's definitely a good item to catch up in terms of farm if you want to look at it that way as well. He's going to pick up a Crawling Blade, and that will try to accelerate his farm, but yeah, it is looking so dire for TongFu. There's going to be Roshan being taken as well. That's going to be end up on kyxy, I believe, and I think Orange could just knock on the front door now. They have way too... There's a Demon Edge on the Gyrocopter.
And how does TongFu get into a fight here, right? Because they don't have any initiation aside from this Puck. And if Puck jumps in, I mean, you have to catch literally everyone, or Mushi can completely turn the fight. Your Naga can just allow them to disengage. You can't go on kyxy because he's got Aegis unless he's way out of position. And although Mushi can overextend, kyxy is normally very safe, so I don't know that TongFu have anything to get into these fights unless Orange just hugely screw up.
Yeah, TongFu, but what they need to do is basically nuke down every single wave. Fable as well as Illusory Orb, and if you need to use your Raining Rift, you do it. And basically you just wait for Anti-Mage to draw a TP scroll when he knocks down tier 2 towers. So that is their only play to not get caught.
The problem is, I mean, that's completely right, and that's what they need to do, but it's very dangerous for how to do it because there's a Nyx on the enemy team. If he's caught on his own and there's anyone else following up, he's almost certainly dead or has to go home himself at the very least.
I mean, if if they're going to focus on Hao, that means there's no push coming to mid lane. So either way, I guess it's a win-win situation.
It's a hang-on kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because remember, Orange have Prophet with the Midas. They have Gyro, who's farming really well. Orange have heroes that can farm. Last game, they had heroes that kind of could farm, like Weaver and Doom, but Doom didn't go for a farming-oriented, a gold-oriented build. Weaver isn't the greatest flash farmer in the mid-game. But that's not the case this time. I mean, if Orange just want to sit back and get 2 more items on KYXY, 2 more items on Ohaiyo, I think your anti-mage will just be, at that point, getting into the game, not hugely ahead.
I mean, you got to keep in mind that, it's a one-core lineup, so no matter how big anti-mage gets, he has to fight against basically 4 or 5 heroes at the same time. BKB is a great item to pick up, but keep in mind, Naga Siren could just BKB sleep the entire team, net on Hao, and then he's just literally 1v4. But
they smoke into the enemy jungle. I would like to see them go with Mushi and Ohaiyo. Speaking of Ohaiyo, he's found Banana here down on the low ground. There's a Sentry Ward, but it's not in the right spot to clip him. It's too far away. Banana caught, and yet another death. Orange just cannot be denied. 12-1, leading by so much. 15k gold, 12k experience. It's really getting hard for TongFu.
Yeah, there's a line right now in the outside of base, which is over here. Over here as well. You just don't cross your line, because if you're TongFu players and you cross that line, you're dead. Unless you're Hao, because Hao has Blink.
Yeah, the only one is Hao. And he may die in doing so. Orange now grouping up towards the bottom lane. In Mizran, KingJ shows his pretty little head outside the base, and Mushi might look to jump. Mu throwing an orb. Mushi blinking in, but a quick reaction. Now, what was stolen?
Impale.
Oh,
that's a
big
steal.
spell for SanSheng. Huge steal. Will it be the difference? In they come. They've had enough of the split push. They're going to force it a bit at the bottom lane. They have Aegis. They soon have MKB. KYXY so close. Another blink. Mushi no, just a mana burn. Impale not there. Ohaiyo finding the kill with the ult. Now a coil on 2. Mushi got Carapace. He'll pop it now. KingJ unable to get in position. Familiars preventing the initiation, but Mushi will fall, and Mu's going to get away. 1 for 1, but that Rubik not really expected to live at this point. Great defense by TongFu, hanging on.
It was a 1-for-1 without having Hao there. Hao got a great creep wave up top, and TongFu is making defense. The question is, how's Orange going to knock down the high ground? They have Aegis on Gyrocopter, so he was playing very aggressive. Also, very smart play by our Visage player. Flew the Visage over these trees over here, popped out, and started attacking Rubik, and Rubik just died to your Wrath of Nature. So you find the pick off there, but at the same time, you're not dealing with Hao, who, by the way, has 2k gold now. He's afraid of spending it because he needs buyback, but I think he's almost forced to, because if he buybacks, they just lose now.
Yeah, if he buys back, remember that your Gyrocopter has an MKB. Your Prophet can pick up his site device. In fact, Ohio's just done it.
Yeah, so Hao can't
he can't die, and he can't buy back. If he does, they just lose because of economy.
Right, he also can't play the same way he has been playing, because there's a Scythe of Ice. Like, that is a very legitimate concern for Hao, so I guess...
Look at his HP. 600. Like right clicks will kill him. Like
a Wrath, a teleport in with a Shadow Blade activation attack, he's dead, so I don't know what he'd do.
He's really, I mean, he's using every single tool at his disposal. Hao is really digging deep right now. We haven't been talking about the rest of the team because, frankly, they just can't do anything. Like, all they can do is sit in the base and, like you said, spam out the waves, hang on for dear life. Hao blinking through the trees so he can get closer to the next wave. Every single tool in his arsenal now being deployed, but while he farms, the gold is actually increasing, the deficit for him between him and the other enemy carry.
Oh, he's got a TP out. The Hex comes in from Ohaiyo, and of course Mushi's right here with the Impale. Where's the Impale? There is none.
He's got a blink. Willie predicted he's got a force as well. Hao, no TP. Can he get out? Impale. No, he's blink north. Mushi, whack-a-mole. Thinking about it. Now I found him. Impale to fly. Doesn't even need it. They found the anti-mage. Orange, not to be denied, have brought Hao down. Aegis to expire soon. But now, Mushi blinking forward gets caught in the trees.
There was great warding over here that allowed the TongFu team to know that the Nyx Assassin was coming. But Ohaiyo, with that blind, I guess, tree creation on the bot lane, they hexed him, canceled a TP, and
I mean, they're just playing so well right now. Using the familiars to scout him so they didn't mess up on the Impale, canceling the TP, anticipating Hao's movements. Now they go in. KYXY does get Malefice. Aegis is down to 30 seconds. He wants to lose it now. He's actually really trying to encourage them to go on him. Something stolen. Mushi leaping forward. SanSheng's caught. SanSheng's dead. Mu psyched up. Netted as well. Dropping in a hurry. KYXY unloads his payload. This is going to pop the Aegis. Coming back after these messages. Still a BKB. 1,700 gold, no glyph. It comes down to a huge black hole. Without it, I just don't see a way. TongFu, they'll trust in KingJ, and now he comes forward, looking for an opening. They'll back off. Orange are not ready to try and decide this game. Maybe they are. Here comes a TP.
When you have to rely on a black hole against a Naga Siren on the map, you're asking for a lot. So we'll see what a KingJ is going to deliver spectacularly. Of course, these Visage Birds going to just go in on the left, on the right side, excuse me. If you go back on the back lines here and just get a couple of stuns, that's all they need. Orange just needs like a one stun on Visage, and they could just charge up the round.
kyxy is going to force this. He gets Malefice, now Blink Silence. He immediately pops his BKB. Silent KingJ looking for a black hole. Not getting one yet. Dropping low. He's not dead. Mushi leaping forward. He falls. Now Mu in a lot of trouble. XtincT not fighting to kill. Mushi will. 2 more dead. Enigma buying back. SanSheng frantically to the front lines he goes. But XtincT is here. Mushi alive. 5 for Orange. First lane of Rex to Orange Esports. The Malaysian sensations. They've come so far and they're not done just yet. 1 lane of Rex down. And it looks like TongFu get nothing in return. Just buybacks their way. Further and further behind they fall. Down 20k gold. Mushi again! What the hell? Amazing! Absolutely incredible. Cannot be stopped. Orange find another kill. And it seems nearly all hope now lost for TongFu.
I just want to say SanSheng's position, or not, the Naga Siren's positioning by Net was just absolutely perfect. He was always so far away from KingJ, but close enough to drop us ensnare if KingJ pops a BKB black hole. KingJ has not used the entire black hole 28 minutes in because of Net. KingJ is not doing anything.
Last year, Orange Esports had a very disappointing run by their own admission. They finished tied 7th and 8th. They lost to an eHome Tiny Wisp. They fell short, but this time they cannot be stopped. On the move, Mushi dropping low, gets the kill. Black hole on 2, but it doesn't feel like enough. There's no follow-up. The ensnare, KingJ to fall. The last hope may have just died with that black hole. 2 lanes of Rex down. A buyback from Ohio. They can smell it. They can taste it. They might just go for the win. And GG! TongFu have been eliminated, and Orange Esports are gonna finish in the top 3. Navi is waiting tomorrow.
My God, I think Net MVP for Orange. Spectacular early gameplay, spectacular team fight control, and now, of course, Orange Esports will move on.
Last year, they finished 7th and 8th. This year, guaranteed top 3, and they have a shot at first place.
It's the way they're doing it. They dropped down to the loser bracket on day 1 and said, no problem.
They got 2-0'd on day 1.
No, they got 2-1. Come on,
okay,
they took a game.
2-1.
I'm favoring Orange against Navi even.
Those games they lost were very harsh,
yeah,
but here they are. They've really shown resilience. TongFu, a great run from them as well. They finished 4th. They pushed Orange to the limit, but in the end, it was not enough. And now we throw it back to James and the rest of the analysts.